What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link in discount code down the description. You also know I'm a Weeble preferred influencer, and the promotion right now you really can't turn away from. What you need to do is go click the link in the pinned comment, open an account, deposit any amount of money. Let's say it's a single dollar you choose to deposit. They're going to give you free fractional shares because you open an account, deposited that dollar. They're also going to take that dollar that you deposited and give you up to 5% back on your uninvested money. It literally is free stocks and free money, but you have to use the link. You have to sign up with it before the end of the month. A lot of people taking advantage of it. You need to do the same. I know that you won't regret it. Also, if you look at my community tab, longtime supporter of my channel and the community, Neil Bauer, put together about a half-an-hour video about his experience with Major League Baseball and the programs they have, his life pretty much working in the video game industry, and most importantly, how EA and their poor quality game is destroying not only the fan base of video games, but also, moreover, transitioning over into the NFL fan base. It's a 30-minute video, but it is absolutely amazing. I would recommend schedule some time, watch that video sometime within the next couple weeks, but most importantly, leave it a like. He did a video about Dreamcast and his working in the space of video games, and that video got a couple 100,000 views. I would love to see the Madden video get the same. Now, what we're here to talk about today is actually the culmination of a lot of those issues he talks about. I would love to sit here and tell you that I believe personally, because EA thinks that Jake Moody is my cousin kicking for the San Francisco 49ers, they wanted to undermine anyone trying to kick in their game by having the kick meter be broken. But the reality is a lot simpler than that. The kick meter in this game has been broken for years. Yet EA today comes out and says that they have fixed it. Now, what I find interesting about this is twofold. Number one, if we were going to sell Ultimate Team packs, or if we were going to promote, some stupid superstar KO, Reptar's in the game, Fat Joe's in the game, we would have a whole video compilation of, Fat Joe kicking a football through a New York, goalpost. But instead, we don't get any of that, okay? When they actually fix something in their game, they don't come out and say, hey, listen, here's what was going on. We had an issue where the kick meter would disappear in our game, but here's how we fixed it. And why is that? Because to me, EA doesn't like to take ownership of their issues. They rather like to sell you things that they're doing to pretend like they're improving their game. So we'll see, and I mean that in theory, we will see if this is actually fixed. This wouldn't be the first time that EA Sports has told us they fixed something that they hadn't. But also, of course, in that fixing of something, they have to admit something else is broken. So the team is continuing to actively work on unintended dropped catches and interceptions while playing on the competitive game setting, with improvements coming in a future title update. How is this possible? You have all these ratings. You have all these player skills. You have sapient technology, yet there's unintended dropped catches and interceptions. It doesn't make sense. If the game is as realistic as you say it is, if the defenders can see ball, play ball, as you like to say, how are they dropping it? If you have so many different variables that go into a receiver catching a ball, if you have just as many variables for the quarterback throwing it, how on earth can you have unintended issues with dropping the ball? It's almost like you layer things on top of a broken game without fixing the game, and then sit there amazed that the game stays broken. To me, the reality is, we're headed into multiple weeks in the NFL season. Probably a quarter of the way through, a fifth of the way through. And if you bought this game on release, if you bought this game in advance, if you paid for the privilege to pay this game 3 days early, you're still not getting the best product they have. By their own admission. This goes beyond just we didn't update rosters, we don't have updated equipment, we don't have updated player likeness. This is the game is not working properly. EA has nothing to compete with. There's no NFL simulation game in the marketplace. All EA has to do is release a game in accordance to the NFL schedule and timing so that they can promote their game at the most reasonable time. And they can't get it done. The fact that we're sitting here talking about an update that puts the kick meter back in the game, It also addresses the fact that things are broken still within the game that frustrates gamers. And they continue to sit here and put together MUT promotions. And I understand people will say, well, it's a different team. Fine. You're right. It's a different team that works on Madden Ultimate Team. It's also a different team that promotes this game through PR. It's also a different team that actually works on this game. But let's be honest with ourselves. There is a major fracture in this chain, from EA Sports to the customer. EA Sports has set an example, going all the way back to Madden 06, when they released that next-gen trailer that honestly still doesn't live up to the game where it is today, despite the fact that we've grown 3 console generations in the process. At what point does someone look at this outside of our community and say, you know what, enough is enough? You're putting out an incomplete product. You're putting out a broken product. You're not updating the product in line with the market, because NBA 2K, MLB The Show are leaders in equipment, are leaders in player likeness, are leaders in updating. You can go right now in MLB The Show and play every single regular and postseason game with an accurate roster, weather, and variables. Yet you can't have that happen in Madden. The gaming communities are very much the same. It's not as if there's this giant fracture between a baseball fan and a football fan. The gaming communities very much align with each other in what they want from a simulation sports perspective. So why is it that we're still so far behind in Madden? I've said this in multiple videos, and no one has given me an answer. Where does EA, from a gameplay standpoint, where does EA lead? Where do other companies look at EA Sports and say, yes, that is the standard. EA is the gold standard in this, and that is what we need to try to achieve. Because I haven't seen it in years. They're not the gold standard in graphics. They're not the gold standard in presentation. They're not the gold standard in simulation. They're not the gold standard in updating. What positive do they give to the rest of the gaming sphere that those companies have to aspire to be as good as or better than EA when it comes to Madden? That's why October 19th, we're finally getting a kick meter back in a game. That's why, as if you go watch Neil's video, you'll see clear as day, this game is destroying the NFL fan base by removing one of the most critical aspects of engagement that you can have with a sport through a video game. And all the while, it's disgraced John Madden's name and legacy in the process. It really is time for the NFL to wake up. Hopefully it took games like wildcard football coming into the market being beloved by the community simply because, hey, here's a game that's fun, that functions, that plays well. And we'll take that over a game that's broken, pathetic, and repetitive, because that's what Madden has become. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching this video. And as long as it takes them weeks in an NFL season to get a kick meter to come back up on your screen, there is no way that I will not be back in the week with more commentary.